everyone, and welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. Do you have a co-worker who just never knows the right thing to say? Do you sit in meetings and wish they would just stop talking? Well, if you want to know 5 things you should never say at work so that you don't become that person, this episode is for you. In today's video, I'll discuss what not to say so that you'll know how to communicate better at work and avoid being that awkward employee who doesn't have a clue. So be sure to stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, the best place for new and emerging leaders who want help navigating challenging conversations in the workplace. My name is Jaboria Scott, and I'm an online leadership coach, and I consult, and that's why I share leadership tips on this channel. Now, when it comes to appropriate workplace conversations, it can sometimes be hard to know which topics are off limits and which ones are okay. It's difficult to know what things not to say at work because work environments are more relaxed nowadays. Well, no matter how comfortable things get at work, I'm going to share reminders of things to never say with a few specific things that you definitely should never say to your boss. So the first thing that you want to remember about the 5 things not to say at work is watch your language. I know some workplaces are more relaxed than others, but I would caution you not to use slang or profanity when talking to your boss or colleagues. This is because even though you may enjoy a friendly working relationship with each other, it's important to keep things professional. Don't treat your boss like your best friend. And even if your boss does those things, that doesn't mean that you should do it. Someone else could overhear you using profanity, and if they're offended, they may report you. And depending on where you live and work in the world, there may be rules or even laws that regulate appropriate behavior and language in the workplace. The last thing you want to do is be accused of creating a hostile work environment because someone overheard you using inappropriate language. You also want to be careful about using slang or language that is only understood by a select group of people. This is because many workplaces are diverse. This means that the use of slang may cause there to be a language barrier that can lead to misunderstandings that can also affect the work. Every language has a standard, no matter what that language is. So the rule of thumb is to use the standard language and keep things courteous. The second thing to never say at work is, "Why didn't you accept my friend request on social media?" Please don't say that. I know that we all want to be virtual friends to keep up with what other people are doing, but it's not cool to pressure your colleagues or your boss to be friends with you on social media platforms. When it comes to interaction with your supervisor and colleagues, as a rule of thumb, don't send social media requests. I'm talking about asking people from work to be friends on Facebook. You want to be Facebook buddies with them, or to follow up you on Instagram. And when they ignore you or decline your invitation, you take offense. It's important to set proper boundaries between your work life and your home life. I don't have time in this video to share examples of cautionary tales of when people have posted things on their social media pages and it negatively affects their work life. You may not believe me, but it's a real thing. And there are case studies that involve lawsuits and terminations of employment related to this topic. The thing is, someone may seem cool at work, and later on you post something on your social media page that they don't like, and later that person might start to treat you differently at work. As the saying goes, a word to the wise is sufficient. The third thing to never say at work is, or do at work, is don't gossip about others to your boss. It may seem like a good way to get close to your boss in the beginning, but this sort of move never ends well. Here's why it's not a good idea. 1, it makes you appear to be a nosy person. Your boss will begin to wonder how you just happen to know what's going on with everyone in the company. And your boss may start to think that you will go around fishing for information. Number 2, your boss will start to think that you have too much time on your hands. Your supervisor may draw the conclusion that either your work is slipping or you don't have enough work to keep you occupied, and that's why you have time to gossip. Number 3, you will lose trust. Your boss may start to think that if you gossip about others, you will also gossip about your supervisor to other people too. And 4, gossip makes you appear unprofessional. The last thing that you want to do is come across as unprofessional if you share information that you shouldn't. And no one wants that. Type "keep it professional" in the comments if you agree with this tip. The 4th tip and thing that you should never say at work is, "It's not my fault." Don't blame others for your mistakes, and you definitely shouldn't play the blame game with your boss. People who play the blame game usually make excuses like, "No one helped me," or "No one told me how to do it." Admitting to your mistakes and taking ownership of what happened is the better option. Someone who takes responsibility for their actions will usually receive understanding, support, and respect. A quote by musician Shelby Martin states that personal accountability requires mindfulness, acceptance, honesty, and courage. So the moral of this story is that it may take courage to admit mistakes, but when you play the blame game instead of taking accountability, you may appear to be irresponsible or dishonest. The 5th thing to never say at work is, "That's not a part of my job." It's important to be careful not to behave in ways that might suggest that certain tasks are beneath you. It might make you seem arrogant and people won't consider you a team player. It reminds me of this story that I heard once that I found very amusing. I don't remember who the original author is or where I heard it, but I find it to be very true about how people sometimes think and behave at work. The story is about 4 employees. One was named Everybody, one was named Somebody, the 3rd was called Anybody, and the 4th person was called Nobody. Well, there was an important job to be done and everybody was asked to do it. And everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. And somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought that anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. The moral of this is that we have shared work and we have a responsibility to take ownership of getting things done. Now, I do understand that there are some job roles that you may not have the capacity to take on. So here's how you can handle that. If you feel like you're being asked to complete a task that may not need to be assigned to you, you can schedule some time to speak to your supervisor about it. Talk to your boss about updating your job description and express your concerns clearly and professionally. Talking to your supervisor about it will help you to get a clearer understanding of which things should or shouldn't be assigned to you. Hit the like button if you agree. When you're at work, the key is to communicate in a way that's professional. Learning how to communicate better at work will prevent you from saying things that could change people's good opinions of you. And you definitely don't want to say anything that could potentially damage your career. The key takeaway here is, when in doubt, don't say it. The truth is that if you don't say it, it can't come back to haunt you. Now, because this channel is about helping you communicate better at work, I have a free download for you. It's my free Drive-By Convos response guide. It has tips that you can use when someone catches you off guard at work and you don't know what to say. The link is in the description box below. Also, please subscribe and share this video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to click the notification bell so that you'll know when I post more videos just like this one. As always, have a great week, be kind to yourself, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.